Here are Keanu's questions from the press pool, starting with Kamisha Reviews. Keanu, in the beginning of the game, you came really hard in the house. Do you have any regrets about that now, especially since the person you trusted most, Vince, ended up betraying you?
Yes. Do I regret playing so hard at the beginning? It's funny. I regret it? Yes. Short answer, yes. But I felt like I needed to. At that time, Jimmy was playing very hard as well, and I felt like he was kind of creating the metaphorical line in the sand, as you say, and creating a divide in the house. And I felt as if I had people behind me. So I purposefully created a large target to take heat off of them potentially. Only later to find out that I guess I made my target so large that they also wanted to target me because they didn't want to be on the block next to me. So if I ever get the opportunity to play again, and if it's still a three nominee block, I will keep that in mind because having three nominees is a lot different than two. Whereas I would assume that creating a large target and only having one person next to you is a lot different than two. So yeah, I would probably go back if I could and change that.
This next question comes from Cinema Blend. Keanu, as someone who perhaps benefited the most from the BB blockbuster this season, what are your thoughts on it overall as a competition and the value it adds to the game?
The blockbuster. Well, I'm relatively new to the game. So coming into the house, I binged tremendously to learn the game at any level. But I was familiar with five different seasons. Four of them didn't have the blockbuster because they added the AI arena, last season, and it definitely makes it exciting. Some people may say it turns it more into a competitive show and less of a social one. I disagree. I believe from the let's say from the HOH's perspective, you are basically burning three bridges when you put three people up, and their ability to be able to come back from that and mend those relationships that's 100% social. So I firmly believe that it is a great addition. I like it, and it keeps it up in the air as to who actually is going to go home. So I love it.
This next question comes from the Cincinnati Enquirer. Did your hot and cold relationship with Rachel help or hurt your game, and why?
I firmly believe that it helped. Obviously from the outside looking in, a lot of our house guests thought we were crazy. But I believe it helped because it helped keep how close we were under the radar. I feel like towards the end there, a lot of people were picking up on like the fact that that was just like the dynamic of our relationship. We'd argue a lot, and then like less than an hour or two later, we'd make up. So a lot of people started picking up on that was just the dynamic of the relationship, and we didn't really hate each other or anything like that. But at least for quite some time, it kept how close we were under the radar. So I believe it was a benefit.
This question comes from the Secret Alliance. Do you wish the Frenemies alliance with Rachel had lasted, and if she had stayed, do you think it could have changed your long-term game?
Do I wish the Frenemies Alliance would have lasted? Absolutely. Yeah. I'd like to think that she would say the same thing. I had every intention of going to the final two with her. That was legitimate. So I was very sad, not only personally to see her go because the house was significantly more quiet with her gone, but I was devastated from a game standpoint as well. Um, she was obviously a huge target at that point. Up to that point, I was probably the largest target because everyone had their mindset on having, someone who had won the game before in jury. So they were not targeting her as hard pre jury. So going into jury, I was like, finally, I get a break. And then she's the first one that goes home. So that, that definitely put a little damper on my game. But, if I could, write it my way, we would have made it all the way to the end together, and obviously with me winning, hopefully. So yeah, I definitely intended on taking her to the end.
This question comes from just Jared. You called Vince and your fellow house guests dumbasses before your eviction. Do you still feel that way? And what would you change about your game, knowing what you know now, to accommodate said dumbasses?
Damn, did I say did I call them dumbasses? I don't even remember when I did that. I mean, I'm sure I did. I just don't remember doing it at the eviction. Did I do that at the evictions? Wow. Okay. What would I do to change my game to accommodate said dumbasses? I probably would not trust as easily. That probably makes me the dumbass. So, rather than changing their dumbassery, I'd probably rather change my dumbassery. Yeah, I think it was more of a reflection of me. If I could go back and change that, I maybe would, to the degree that I trusted people, especially, Vince, having him be the reason I was put on the block so many times. Yeah.
This question comes from Screen Rant. How real was the Frenemies Alliance to you? Would you have actually wanted to sit next to Rachel in the final two chairs?
The Frenemies Alliance was very real to me. I most definitely would have loved to sit next to none other than Rachel at the end. I told her to be a legend, you got to beat a legend, and I most definitely had my mindset on that. Uh, you know, uh, we might never find out, because unfortunately she did get out first to jury, and that was a huge blow to my game. But yeah, I fully intended on us making it to the end together. It would have been an incredible feat, because outside of each other, we were working with people on the opposite side of the house. But yeah, I totally would have loved for that to have been the ending of this season.
This question comes from Reality Recaps. We loved your dynamic with Rachel this season, but why did you not take her advice, especially when it came to Vince, who ultimately ended your game?
Ah, yes. Well, the only way I could say it is, when you're young, and your parents want nothing but the best for you, so they give you advice so that you don't make the same mistakes they made. Well, I had a big brother mentor, and instead of listening to her advice, I wanted to do it my way, which my stubbornness is something that I am fully aware of, and definitely should probably work on. But yeah, I definitely regret not taking her advice. She did say that he had lied to her multiple times. Unfortunately, that was one of those things where I was like, yeah, he's lied to me a couple times too, but I had such a soft spot for the guy that I just kept forgiving him, and ultimately that was my downfall. So I should have totally listened to her. And if I ever get a chance to play this game again, I'm gonna make myself a bracelet that says WWRD. What would Rachel do? And then maybe I'll make it to the end.